Hello, everyone. And I want to thank each and every one of you listeners for tuning in to another episode of Beautiful Things Come From Struggle podcast YouTube channel. And as you know, we always try to just bring out the real talk and stimulating conversations. And today, I have one of the greatest privileges in interviewing a good friend of mine, a woman to me, and who I say I love, I mean I love. And I'm going to introduce, I want him to introduce himself. So, brother, could you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
Sure thing, brother. My name is Mike Walsh. Let me see. I currently live in Millis, Massachusetts. I'm retired right now, and actually worked my whole career as a civil engineer with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I am married. My wife Laura, 37 years, and we have two sons, Ben and Brian. I'm not sure what else you want me to say about myself.
No, brother, I want you to be you. But what I do want to know is could you tell the listeners about your relationship with Jesus?
Oh man, that's I could talk all day. Yeah, I started following Jesus just before I turned 18, and that was in 1982. Um, yeah, I just kind of realized that there was something missing in my life. Um, I had a girlfriend at the time who was a Christian, and I wanted what she had. There was something there that was just amazing. And it really wasn't her. It was something else. And I knew it was something spiritual. So anyways, I gave my life to Christ back then. And it's been just a wonderful journey since then. So about my relationship with Jesus, I love Jesus. Jesus is really everything to me. He's once I started following him, really changed my life. He changed me. I am a totally different person. Uh, Not that I was really bad back then, but as the scripture says, we become a new creation, and um, I'm new. So my focus is different. Everything about me is different.
Mm, mm. One of the things, and listeners, this is a beautiful human being, beautiful man, um, beautiful family, beautiful wife, beautiful family, beautiful wife. One of the things that I learned about you right away from talking to you is that you suffer from MS. And one of the most profound things you ever told me is you said God gave you MS, but you didn't take it as like woe was me or anything like that. You just took it as like I'm dealing with it. I'm going to deal with it. But you could you like tell the listeners like how you found out you had got MS and how God has kept you strong in dealing with MS.
Sure. Okay. Well, for those who don't know, MS stands for multiple sclerosis. It's a neurologic disease. It's not contagious or anything. It's an autoimmune thing, with my immune system. Anyways, I found out, what was it, around 98, I was diagnosed. I first started having vision problems, and it actually took the doctors quite some time to figure out what was going on. But finally they did, and I was diagnosed. And since then, I've had, more issues come up, more than just the vision problems. And yeah, it's a challenge having a chronic disease, being limited, really having physical limitations mount up. But spiritually, yeah, I've come to know God through the scriptures, and the scriptures say that God is sovereign. He's in control. He's good. And so when I got MS, I realized it wasn't just bad luck, something like that. That a good sovereign God can bring things like MS into our lives to grow us, to change us, to move us forward, and that God was using MS in my life to shape me, which then helps me to help other people. So yeah. And you ask how has God kept me strong? Well, there's so many ways. He uses other people that bless me. He encourages me through the scriptures and truths that I've learned about him along the way. And yeah, he encourages me really all along the way.
Man, that's just, oh man. I'll change things up a little bit. What do you think can be done to glorify God more from a more broader perspective?
I guess I want to narrow it down a little bit, like for me to glorify God, or for like what can be done for who to glorify God. I guess
what can be done. What can be done for, like, from us to talk about God more, to more population of people in which they can feel comfortable and identify, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Well, I think first and foremost, I think we need to acknowledge that God exists, that there is God, and that we need to honor God as, he's God, right? He made it, everything. He's just so awesome, and so we need to keep God in that place of honor, and recognize that he's sovereign. He's control of all things. And so we glorify God by acknowledging him and then trusting him. And that's what I've learned personally in glorifying God. So now, going back to what can we do as we encounter other people, I think it's just to live that truth out in our lives in a way that's visible. And I don't hide it. I try not to. Yeah, I want people to know that I am the person I am, and I am the way I am because of the God that I know, and that they can know this God also. That this God actually wants them to know Him.
So. Yeah, that's beautiful, brother. I want to tap into something different. I want you have some familiarity with the criminal justice system, especially with you and your wife's involvement with FEMA. What improvements or changes would you like to see done within the criminal justice system?
Oh, wow. That could take all day too, because there's so much change that's needed. So much that's needed.
It's okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll step back and say that first I became enmeshed, really involved in the criminal justice system because of my older son. And I won't get much into that except to say that mental illness with him was involved with his trouble. And so when he first was arrested, he went to Bridgewater State Hospital, which is the state's forensic hospital, and it's not a good place. Really, the care there barely qualifies to be called care. There's just so many problems there. So, anyways, one thing that really needs to change is that Bridgewater State Hospital needs to come under the care of the Massachusetts Department of Mental Health, not under the control of the Department of Corrections. That's not disparaging towards the Department of Corrections. It's just they have a different business, DOC, and the experts in mental health care is the Department of Mental Health, and really Bridgewater State Hospital should be under DMH. So that's the first thing. But move on from there. Just really Department of Corrections. What I see is that they're really strong on security, and I think really punishment that goes beyond what should be for people who are incarcerated. And I think they really fall short on really being restorative, helping people to, use that time that they're incarcerated to improve themselves, to grow, to learn, different ways of how to function with other people, how to cope, how to, interpersonal reactions. It could go on and on. These are just some of the things that need to change, but a broad umbrella, the area of programming and restoring people. I guess one last thing that I'll say is, as people are released, DOC or somebody needs to do a better job to help people who are reintegrating into society. My wife just got an email from somebody last night who knows a woman whose son just got out of prison after 8 years, and he's just languishing, and it's a horrible thing. And I don't know what DOC did to help prepare him, but I mean, he's been out less than a month, and he's really doing badly. It's like we have to do a better job helping people.
I'm gonna pray for that, brother, and also I know that me and you have extensive conversations, and you even call people on my behalf and try to help me find resources, man. Since I'm about to be released myself, man, and it's sad. It's sad.
Thank God.
But all we can do is just pray and hope that God can move in this wave, and also, man, pray for that young man who was just released, man, and that things can get better for him. Sure.
Yeah, like I know of. I just want to say I know of a program that was established with Mass Health for people who are coming out, and they say that they're known by the Department of Corrections. But why doesn't this young man who just got out? Why isn't he in that program? Because that program is specifically to help people like him, but he's not in it, and that just doesn't make sense to me. That that fell through the cracks.
In a way that we can help out is through FEME, correct?
Yes. Well, through FEME, that's advocacy. We work with, try to get politicians and folks to make changes in the system.
But another way is also writing to the Department of Corrections Commissioner, Mr. Sean Jenkins, correct? Or email?
Yeah, actually, yes. And FEME, we've already been able to have one meeting with Commissioner Jenkins, and I think he was going to schedule another one. So I appreciate the opportunity to meet with him and his staff and to discuss things that affect folks, especially folks who deal with mental illness.
Yeah. Okay. Do you mind telling the listeners about your place of worship, South Shore Baptist Church, and where it is?
Sure, South Shore Baptist Church. It's in Hingham. It's really a great church. I love it there for the main reason is that they're focused. They believe that the scriptures are the Word of God, as Jesus attested to. And so they teach the scriptures, they preach the scriptures, and they really stick with that. They don't stray off onto all different kind of tangents, which is good. So it's very biblically based. It's a very loving church. The worship is wonderful. It's very. When I'm there in worship, I get the sense of that God is really big, that God is awesome, and God is. So our worship should remind us of that. And I've been to too many churches where the worship is just small, if I could say that. So.
Yeah, I want to shout out to Pastor Steve. The brother comes and visits me, and also every Thursday or every other Thursday I'm involved with a Bible study with some members of South Shore Baptist Church, and there's some very beautiful people. And of course, I want to shout out to Mrs. Laura Walsh, who is Mike's wife, and Marion. So, brother, we're running short for time. Would you like to, leave the listeners with some sort of words of encouragement?
Sure. Okay, so I'll say, this podcast is called "Beautiful Things Come from Struggle," and so we all have struggles, and we've probably heard people say that God never gives us more than we can handle, but I don't believe that's true. I think God definitely gives us more than we can handle, but then He also gives us help to walk through it, and that's where the beautiful things come from. We're strengthened. We're then equipped to be able to help other people who are going through struggle because we have first, been helped and learned and grown through it. So my encouragement is to don't give up. Don't lose heart. But look for the help. And I encourage everyone to look to God for help because God's there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Brother Mike, Mr. Michael Walsh. Good brother. Located at South Shore Baptist Church, Hingham. Check him out. Thank you so much, brother, for your interview. And you are a pillar in your community, and you mean so much to me. And I want to thank each and every one of you listeners for tuning in to another episode of Beautiful Things Come From Struggle podcast YouTube channel. Well, I'm not here to preach to you. I'm here to reach to you. I want you all to like and subscribe and share. And until the next episode, I want to say peace, love, and God bless. Peace.